if there was one person to put this blame on, or put most of the blame on, is the head coach, Andy Reid. I have a lot of problems with the way he handled time management. Before Andy Reid won the championship with the Chiefs, before he got Mahomes, before he hadn't won, he wasn't labeled as a winner. It's funny how one championship changes people's perception of you. But before that happened, Andy Reid, if you followed him with the Eagles, if you followed him at the beginning with the Chiefs, one of the things that killed Andy Reid was his time management, not knowing when to take a timeout, taking it too early, not saving them for the end, or not using them early enough. That was one of the biggest criticisms of Andy Reid's from his time with the Eagles, early on with the Chiefs, not knowing how to keep a lead, not knowing how to run out the clock. Anything that revolved around time management, Andy Reid was often scrutinized for it throughout his career. And then he got Mahomes, and then he got a Super Bowl, and then we kind of started forgetting about Andy Reid's time management. We started giving him credits for his offense, the way that offense looks, how beautiful it looks, all the end arounds, all the eye candy that he does. We started, focusing more on the positives, and we kind of started forgetting about Andy Reid's negatives, his flaws as a coach. And those flaws reared their ugly head again this Super Bowl. At the end of the first half, Tom Brady had the ball with like less than a minute left, one timeout, and they ran the ball. They gave it to Fournette. Andy Reid takes the timeout because he wants to get Mahomes the ball, give one last shot before the half. But Brady completes a pass. I believe it was to Godwin to set up 3rd and 2, and Andy Reid takes another timeout. That's the timeout that I really don't agree with. 3rd and 2 is just super, not easy, but it's super manageable for the offense to get. I might even say easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy. 3rd and 2. Your defense hasn't been playing lights out. It's not like you've been going on 3 and outs the whole game, and it makes sense. Brady has, for the most part, been able to kind of at least get the first down or move the ball down the field more than you have. So 3rd and 2, the offense has one timeout. You take a timeout and you kind of dare Tom Brady to get that first down and try to go for more. And obviously they get the 3rd down, they convert. Then the Buccaneers get 2 questionable pass interference, which I don't really want to get into because they should have never been in that position. If Andy Reid just lets the Buccaneers run the clock out, they go out into halftime 14-6, and it's a different ball game. 1 possession game, you get the ball to start the second half. But no, Andy Reid takes 2 timeouts he probably shouldn't have taken. One that he definitely, the first one, some people may say, okay, give it a shot. Other people are like, nah, just go into halftime 14-6. The second one is the egregious one. There's no way he should have taken that one. No way. 3rd and 2, down just 8 points in the Super Bowl with Mahomes. You just go into halftime 14-6. He takes a timeout. They take a big shot, 2 pass interferences, super, controversial, especially the second one. But now you're down 21-6 in the Super Bowl, and that's it. Your offensive line can't protect. Mahomes never has time in the pocket. Your plays are getting blown up. That defense is too fast. They're running sideline to sideline, and that's ball game basically. So for all the positives, for all the accolades that we want to give Andy Reid for the great offense, the plays that he draws up, for all the success that the Chiefs have had, Andy Reid's time management continues to be his Achilles heel, and it showed up in the Super Bowl. I also think that he didn't run the ball enough. He had to give Mahomes a little bit of help. Everyone could tell that the line was not protecting him. They had a lot of backups, so it's understandable. But if anything, linemen like to go forward and bully people. And I know they were playing against a great defensive line, but you got to run the ball. Couldn't run it enough. I think being down 21-6, it kind of nullified the run game for the second half. Once you're down 21-6, you're chasing the game. If you don't get anything on your first drive, now you're really chasing the game. And you get nothing on your first possession. Buccaneers go down and score 28-6. Now the run game's completely gone. So it's just a lot of mistakes piling up. I think Andy Reid could have coached a better game and could have gotten the ball out of Mahomes' hands quicker too. I think he kept drawing up like a lot of deep shots. And they, like I said, they didn't run the ball enough. They couldn't get Tampa Bay out of their cover two that they were running most of the game. You had to punish them with the run game to get the safeties to come up the field. They never did, and they paid for it. So I just hope Andy Reid learns from this and he has a better game plan. I get it, injuries are part of the game and they hinder the Chiefs, but I do believe Andy Reid got outcoached, and those problems that he's had with time management just reared their ugly head again. But I still like Andy Reid. He's one of my favorite coaches, but I do have to say that like I was not impressed by how he managed the time, and the play calling I think could have been better. And Andy Reid is still the offensive. He calls the plays for the offense, so it falls on Andy Reid. I would have loved to see him get a second ring. His first coaching job was at SF State, and that's where I graduated from. So I would have loved to see him get a second ring, but it is what it is. I still like you, Andy Reid. I hope you win more rings, but that time management, those play calls, a little questionable, but it is what it is. Andy Reid, wish you the best.